All right, welcome to another episode of Serious Though. I'm your host, Ron, aka Big Six. You can find me on Instagram, YouTube Music, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts under Serious Though Podcast. You might have heard my last episode and wondering what's going on. And I'm not even going to get into it. If you haven't heard it, check it out. So this new episode is going to be driven by AI. I'll explain how I created this podcast episode, but this next episode you're going to hear is not human. It's for entertainment purposes. It's AI talking about AI to understand AI better. Let's go.
All right, let's dive into this AI thing, specifically AI that can see.
Oh, yeah.
We're looking at an episode of the podcast, Serious Though,
Okay.
where the hosts are actually AI.
Interesting.
It's Ron, he's called Big Six, and then his AI companion.
Okay, cool.
And they kind of have this playful tone.
Right.
You know, they're dealing with serious topics, but with wit and humor.
I like that.
Yeah. So they're talking about a few things like ChatGPT, Gemini Copilot, and Claude.
Okay.
Let's start with ChatGPT.
Sure.
That's not just a text generator anymore, right?
Right. It can actually now analyze and understand images.
Whoa.
Yeah. So think about, you could use an image to prompt ChatGPT to write a story,
Wow.
create a song, or even generate code based on visual elements.
That's wild. Okay, so they talked about how this could be transformative for visual accessibility.
Yeah, absolutely.
Can you expand on that a little bit?
Yeah. So imagine someone with visual impairments being able to see the world
Right.
through ChatGPT's interpretation of images.
So it could describe scenes, identify objects, and even read text from images.
Wow. Okay.
And that opens up a whole new level of access and understanding.
That's awesome. Okay, so let's go to Gemini.
Yeah.
That's Google's AI creation.
Yeah.
They talked about its capabilities as being kind of like a detective.
Yes.
Can you unpack that a little?
Yeah, so Gemini combines information from both the web and images.
Oh, wow.
So it's like this digital detective that can analyze a photo, search the web for related information, and then piece together these clues to provide a comprehensive understanding of what's happening.
So it could identify a landmark in a photo, provide historical context.
Exactly.
It's just a nearby restaurant or something.
Yeah, precisely.
Wow. That's incredible. Okay, so both of these sound like they need a certain level of skill to really unlock their potential.
Right.
And they mentioned prompting.
Yes.
What is that?
So prompting is the art of giving AI very clear instructions to get the results you want. Okay. It's like you're speaking AI's language.
Yeah. So you're using specific keywords, phrases, and even framing questions in a way that guides the AI.
So it's not just typing in a basic question.
Yeah.
You need to be a little more strategic.
Yes, definitely. The more precise your prompt is, the more accurate and relevant the AI's response will be.
Got it. So is that something that requires a lot of technical expertise?
Not necessarily. While there are very advanced prompting techniques,
Right.
even beginners can learn the basics.
Okay.
You can start experimenting with different prompts to see what works best. And there are even some resources online that provide guidance and examples.
That makes it less intimidating.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, let's talk about Copilot and Claude.
Okay.
How do they compare?
So both Copilot and Claude are impressive, but their strengths lie more in text-based tasks.
Okay.
Rather than image analysis.
So they're not as strong with the visual stuff.
Right. They might be able to interact with images to a certain extent.
Okay.
But their primary functions are more around writing, coding, information retrieval.
So ChatGPT and Gemini are the ones kind of leading the way in AI vision.
Yes, exactly.
Got it.
Yeah.
It's amazing how AI is constantly evolving
It is.
and becoming more specialized.
Right.
It sounds like this technology is becoming accessible to pretty much everyone.
It really is. Yeah. The hosts of Serious, though, definitely made a point of that.
Yeah.
These AI tools are becoming more and more user-friendly, even for people with no technical background.
You don't have to be a programmer
Exactly.
to use them.
Yeah.
That's encouraging.
It is. It's like having a superpower at your fingertips.
Okay, so we talked about a lot of positives.
We have.
Are there challenges with AI vision?
Well, while we focused on a lot of the positive applications, it's important to acknowledge that there are potential challenges that need to be addressed as this technology evolves.
Like what?
Well, like ensuring data privacy, preventing bias in AI algorithms, and establishing clear guidelines for responsible AI development.
It's sort of like anything else, right?
Right.
We create these amazing tools, but then we have to make sure we're using them responsibly.
Absolutely. The hosts did mention the importance of ongoing dialogue and collaboration between developers, policymakers, and the public.
Right. It can't just be one group of people making these decisions.
No, definitely not. We need to make sure AI is used for good.
And benefits everyone.
Exactly.
Okay. This has been really fascinating.
It has.
We've looked at AI vision through this Serious Though podcast.
Yeah.
We've gotten some key takeaways.
That's right.
Let's come back and we'll talk about how we can actually practically apply these tools.
Okay, sounds good.
Welcome back. So we were talking about ChatGPT and Gemini and how we use prompting.
Right.
But how can we use these tools every day?
Well, one of the most exciting things is how AI can boost creativity.
Okay.
Like, imagine taking a picture, feeding it to ChatGPT and having it make a poem or a song.
Oh, wow.
Or even a screenplay.
It's like your own personal muse.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, cool.
It's here.
What else did Serious Though talk about?
Well, they were talking about research and education.
Okay.
Like, you could use Gemini to analyze historical photos, identify patterns in scientific data.
Oh, wow.
Even translate text from images in other languages.
So it's not just reading a textbook anymore.
Right. It could totally change how we learn.
That's interesting. They also mentioned problem solving.
Yes.
How does AI do that?
Okay. Well, think about an engineer using AI to analyze like a bridge.
Okay.
To find weaknesses.
Wow.
Or a doctor using AI to figure out what's wrong with a patient from a scan.
So it can help people make better decisions.
Yeah, exactly.
It seems like it's all about humans and AI working together.
Yeah, that was a key takeaway from Serious Though.
Yeah.
It's not about AI replacing humans. It's about AI giving us more power.
We can do more together.
Exactly. Serious Though actually gave their listeners a challenge.
Really?
Yeah. They said, try out these tools and share what you create using #SeriousTools.
Oh, that's cool.
It's a way to see what everyone's up to.
It's like a global community.
Exactly.
So we've been focusing a lot on the tools themselves.
Right.
But what does all of this mean for the average person?
Well, AI vision is changing all the time.
Okay.
This is really just the beginning. New stuff is happening all the time, so it's important to be curious and keep learning.
Serious Though asked their listeners a question, and I think it's a good one for us too.
Oh, okay. What is it?
They said, what does it mean to live in a world where AI is our guide?
Oh, wow.
It really makes you think.
It does. You know about the role of AI.
Right.
Both the good and the bad.
Yeah, like we said, it's a tool.
Right.
And it can be used in different ways.
Exactly. It all comes back to us staying informed, talking about it and making sure AI is developed ethically.
Yeah, we need to be careful.
Yeah, and don't be afraid to ask questions.
That's good advice for anything.
It is.
So what would you tell someone who wants to start exploring AI vision?
The best way to learn is to just try it out. There are free trials of these tools and tons of resources online to help you.
It's all about just diving in.
Exactly. Don't be afraid to make mistakes and have fun.
It sounds like a lot of fun.
It is. And remember, it's not just about the tech itself.
Okay.
It's about what we can do with it.
Right, like all the creative possibilities.
Exactly. AI can help us solve problems, learn new things, and see the world in a new way.
So as we wrap up this part, what should we be thinking about?
Well, just how much potential AI vision has and how exciting it is to be a part of it.
It is exciting.
When we come back, we'll have some final thoughts about this whole AI thing.
All right, so we're back, and we've covered a lot of ground with AI vision.
Yeah, image analysis, all the creative stuff, problem solving.
And how important it is to be responsible with this tech.
Exactly, because it's always changing.
Okay, so let's wrap up this deep dive.
Okay.
We were inspired by that Serious Though episode, and they ended with a question.
Oh, right. What was it again?
They asked, what does it mean to live in a world with AI as our guide?
Yeah, that's a really good one. It makes you think about, AI's place in the world.
What it means for all of us.
Exactly. And, we talked about how AI is a tool.
Right.
And it can be used in different ways.
So we need to be careful.
Yeah, we really need to be informed about AI. We need to be talking about these things and making sure it's developed ethically.
It's our responsibility.
It is. And, don't be afraid to ask questions or challenge what you hear about AI.
Yeah, be a little skeptical.
Exactly. Your voice matters in all of this.
So what's the best way for people to get involved?
Well, share your thoughts.
Okay.
Share your work. Use that hashtag SeriousThough.
Oh, yeah, from Serious Though.
Right. It's a great way to connect with other people.
And see what they're doing.
Yes, exactly.
It's amazing to see all the positive ways people are using this technology.
It really is inspiring.
So what's the biggest takeaway from all of this?
I think the biggest thing is to just keep exploring.
Keep learning. Keep experimenting. Don't be afraid to push the boundaries.
Yeah, the future of AI is really up to us.
It is.
Yeah.
So get out there and be a part of it.
Well, that wraps up our deep dive into AI vision.
I hope everyone enjoyed it.
I know I did. We learned a lot from that Serious Though episode.
Yeah, they had some really good points.
So until next time, keep learning, keep innovating.
And most importantly, keep your eyes open to all the possibilities of AI.
Thanks for listening, everyone.
Let me tell you how that was done. Think about an idea of a show that you want to do. Also, think about some images that you want in your show. I went over to Google AI Studio. I created a prompt for Google Notebook LM. I took that prompt, put it into Google Notebook LM. Once I did that, you get the audio part that you heard. Then I went to Google Labs and Google Images and put the prompts in from the Google AI Studio and created the images based on the show. That's how it's done. Thank you for listening. Serious Though.